So what's the secret to keeping a great tenant for years? It's not just about finding them, but it's about keeping them. Today I want to talk about 5 strategies that are going to help you do just that. You want to retain that tenant for the long term, so stay tuned. It's Sue Richey with Richey Property Management. Today we're talking about something that every landlord dreams of, and that is keeping that amazing tenant for years. You know, that tenant that pays their rent on time every month, the tenant who takes care of the property, calls you and says, oh, this happened, but I fixed it, and they're just awesome. We all know having a tenant like this, it's like gold. At my company, our goal is to do obviously a great job for all of our owners, but also for all of our tenants, because we know that if we do a great job for tenants, meaning we're responsive to their repair requests, we handle any issues they have, if they have technical issues, if there are issues paying rent, whatever it is, we want to make sure that we do the best we can for the tenants too, because we know if those tenants are happy, they're not going to move. You know, obviously things are going to take them away. They might buy a house, they might move out of the area, but if they're just, upset with the way that we handle things, then they're going to move next time their lease comes up for renewal. And we don't want that. We want those tenants to stay because that means more profitability, less turnover for our owners. And every time there's turnover, there's cost. You've got costs to release the property. You have costs to paint and update and fix things and all kinds of things. We don't want that. So the better job we can do for owners and tenants, the more profitable our owners are going to be. On average, we see our tenants staying for several years because, in this area, it's probably 2.5 to 3 years on average. We've had tenants that have stayed over 10 years. I think one of our longest is maybe 18 years. So that owner is super happy. All right, so let's get into the 5 key strategies I have for you so that you can do the best job and have the best relationship that you can with your tenant so that you can keep them. First is to build a strong relationship. Now, I have said this in other videos, you don't want to be your tenant's best friend because as soon as you are, they can start taking advantage if they're that type. The ones who give you the sob story of why they can't pay the rent and things like that. But you want a good, solid relationship that's professional. They want to know that you care, that you're going to be responsive, that you're going to take care of things. And all of those things show the kind of person you are. And it's building that good relationship with them that will be beneficial for you as well. If your tenant calls about a leaky faucet, don't take a week to get back to them. Let them know that you received their message, call somebody or go over there yourself if you're a handyman and take care of it. Just get it done. Knowing that you care is really half the battle. They just want to know that you feel like your property is worth it, that they're worth it, that you take the time to make sure that you take care of problems so that they have full enjoyment of the property. When you have a good relationship with your tenant, they're very likely to take good care of your property, and that is super important. Point number 2 is to keep up with repairs and with updates. Now, no rental property needs to be the most beautiful, updated property, but you need to make sure that everything is working properly and things are safe, clean, and just generally in good condition. Take the time to respond to repairs and do things in between tenants if you can to make other updates to your property, because not only is that going to help your property value, but it's also going to help you attract new tenants and tenants faster because your property looks more updated. Really, no tenant wants to live in a dump. They don't want to live somewhere where things are constantly breaking. And you don't want to also have the headaches of just getting that call over and over again that the stove doesn't work and the toilet doesn't work and this doesn't work. You're going to save yourself a lot of headache by making sure that these things are, in good working order, and replace them if you need to, because that's part of owning a rental property. So maybe your carpets are starting to show some serious wear and tear, or there's other things that really need attention. By you showing that you're going to take the time, even if your tenant's living there, to replace those things, it's going to make them really happy and it's going to make them want to stay. You know what? You don't have to go overboard on these things. And when you do take the time to do some updates, look into products that are durable, long lasting, that are good for rental properties. I did a video about this. If you want to find out about good return on investment types of updates and products, check out this video because we go a lot more into it and more into the types of things that will last and will be more cost effective for you. Number 3, respect their privacy and be flexible. Nobody wants you to just barge in or show up unannounced at their property just because you think you need to do something there or fix something. If you want to do an inspection, make sure you give them enough notice. A lot of these timeframes should be built into your lease. The more you respect their privacy and are considerate of it, obviously that goes a long way. And flexibility too is appreciated by your tenant if they need to. So for example, let's say that, they're having a rough time. They've been a great tenant. They've paid their rent on time. They're going through a rough patch for whatever reason. Their rent's going to be a little bit late. Give them some grace, and you just work with them. They're going to appreciate that flexibility, but don't make that a common practice. Don't let that continue to keep happening, because then you start setting a precedent and you can go down a slippery slope. But just some general flexibility is good and it is appreciated. Again, that goes back to building a good relationship. Okay, number 4, show some appreciation. If your tenant's doing a great job taking care of the property, every time you go there, it looks great. They have good relationships with the neighbors. They do things in the community. They pay their rent on time, all of those things. Show them a little love. Maybe send them a gift card and just to say, hey, thanks for paying your rent on time. Maybe it's their lease anniversary or it's a kid's birthday or it's the holidays or whatever it is. You send a gift basket. Just do something nice for them, because that too means something. And if it makes a difference between leaving or staying, just again, all of these things continue to build a nice living experience for your tenant, making them want to stay, which will make you happy too. Okay, and lastly, offer some lease renewal incentives. Anytime it comes time to where the lease is ending, that's a decision time period. The tenant's trying to decide, do I leave? Do we stay? How much are they going to raise the rent? In my rental properties, and my husband and I own a couple of properties too, and I know that one of our properties is a little bit under what the market is, and it's probably a few $100s under the market, but this tenant has been great. They've taken care of the house. They pay their rent on time. And so we're doing a nominal increase. The next go around, we'll probably catch ourselves up. For sure, we'll catch ourselves up if they move out and we can get ourselves back to kind of the higher end of market rent. But right now, I want to keep them there because it's going to cost me a lot more money to find a new tenant. So when that lease renewal time comes, you can offer them either keep the rent the same. We have owners who choose to do that because they just, when we were going through an economic slump or during COVID, people definitely just said, just keep the rent the same. I want them to stay. So that's what we did. You can do that anyway, anytime. You can do a very nominal increase like we're doing. And you can also offer some additional perks, like maybe you just offer a free house cleaning, or you say, I'm going to do a whole exterior mulch and tree trimming and make the whole yard look great. There are a lot of different things that you can do, things that will help take care of your property, but also be a nice little perk for them too. So think about that, be creative, but anything you do like that during that lease renewal time is probably something that will tip them to staying, and it's more hassle for them to move. So the nicer you can make it, the better it is for everyone. So we've been talking about how to keep these tenants, but how do you get these great tenants in the first place? One of the things that has been a challenge, it's been a challenge for a lot of landlords. And so I created this mini course called Getting Great Tenants and How to Keep Them. It's really inexpensive. Put a link below to this course, and I hope you'll check it out, because if you're doing this yourself and maybe you've had some trouble, maybe you haven't, but you want to get the very best tenant, then in this course we share our 10-step proven process to getting great tenants, because this is something we've worked on for the last 25 years, and we have a really good process for getting quality tenants in our properties. So I hope you'll check it out. Okay, so there you have it. Keeping great tenants is just about being respectful, responsive, doing the right thing, and just doing those extra things for them. Like I said, those go a long way. If you have any tips or different things you've done for your tenants that you want to share, put them in the comments below so we can help each other. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time.